What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Appreciate you being here. Today, we're going to be talking about the ASFX Accelerator events. These are our live trading seminars that we host all over the country. And hopefully, we're going to be taking these all over the world once COVID is over. Today, specifically, I think we're going to talk about like the inspiration for these events, where I come up with the content, what we talk about in the events. And really, I figured we would do a whole video for this because I don't sell it and explain the value of it very well anywhere else except when we can sit down and talk about it. Like, there's no Instagram story that I can make. There's no graphic that I can do, no email that I can write, nothing that really conveys the value of these events other than talking about it. And of course, hearing testimonials from other people.
Yeah, like definitely the impact and the energy that just you feel from attending these events and just seeing how the traders that do attend, where they progress and how they progress after attending these events. We don't do it justice. Like, we don't talk about it enough. Right. So we definitely need today, that's why we're doing this, to sit down and really just go over everything that goes into it.
Yeah, like a lot of, and it's cool. So we did our first one this year in Clearwater, Florida, near where we live. That event, we actually have someone coming to our next one in Phoenix, which is going to be in March. It's March 5th. I'm going to put a link in the description so you guys can click on that. It'll tell you when the next event is. And if you're watching this after March, it's going to be the same link. So just click the link in the description and you'll see when the next event will be.
Yeah.
But from when we're filming this, the next one is in March. It's in Phoenix. And one of the guys that was actually here who flew down to Florida for that one is actually going to be coming out to Phoenix for another one. So like you said, the impact is so real that sometimes people want to come to another one too, because there's still more to gain from it. So first, I think we can talk about, like you said before we started recording, where I've been, live events that I've been to, live events that you've been to, and what they've done for us, because I feel like that is the inspiration for all of it, right?
Yeah, I feel like we can start there, and then we can kind of talk about how the first event in Philadelphia even came to be.
Right.
Like, where we had the idea.
I always see Ryan Guru's face pop into my face when
he kind of pushed it, but we'll get there. So let's start, like you said, with live events and how they've impacted us in different ways to realize we need to be hosting our own events.
What ones have you been to? Have you been to any?
Live events?
Yeah.
Well, I went to the one with you with Dr. Steenbarger.
Right.
That was very interesting. It was all about the psychology of traders.
That was called the Money Show.
Yeah. Well, we only went to see Brett.
Yeah. We also went to that thing. I guess it's not really an event, but we went to that networking event in Jamaica. Yeah, it's an event.
Yeah.
So we did that together. That was really impactful for you, me, and Eric. Eric was with us, our buddy Eric. So like, I feel like right there, two important events that stand out to me. And those are both just within the last 2 years that have made an impact, meeting Steenbarger and doing the Jamaica trip.
Absolutely. And you yourself have been to events that I haven't been to with you. Like, you've been to Gary V's event.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one. I went with the whole guys and we all had our ASFX shirts on. There is a video about that. That was a long time ago. Yeah. So that was a big event because Gary was like just preaching to go do the action thing and get out here, and like literally half the audience left.
Well, that's what he always preaches.
Right.
But
so that was good. Definitely impactful. It was inspirational to see somebody like just be up there and be themselves, and like you could feel that in his energy. So I got a lot out of that, I think, from there. And then I went to another event without you, which was for the prop firm that I was working for in New York. Like, one of the first things they did was they sent me to Florida because I was living in Philadelphia at the time. They sent me down here to the other side of Florida, though, to Boca, and they had a seminar, and there was like, I think 12 people, 10 people. It wasn't a lot. I mean, not that ours are a lot of people, but that's about the size we go for. I feel like that's inspired me a lot too, because they have their head trader guy. I don't need to say his name, but he's on CNBC. He's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And people pay to go sit with him, and I just see myself as the same. Just a little younger. So I got a nicer six pack.
So what would you say is like, because that first event that you went to in Florida, you were already kind of in a network with those guys online. Yeah. What is really different about going there and being in person with them versus just already being involved in their online community?
The thing that stands out, I guess, is energy. I always feel, because I feel people, like when I'm with them physically, you just can feel them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I know you get that. I was
going to say, but for the people that don't understand that, try and use more words about what it did for you and what you took away from that.
Well, first, it's like a reminder that hard work is required, because you see these people that are all committed to not just paying to be there, but some of them are flying from across the world to be there, like whatever it was at the time. So like you have that. So I think like determination shows, and then that is motivating to me, because then I'm like, oh, am I working that hard? Am I willing to do the things that these people are doing? So that's the first thing. But then also when you see people asking questions about trading specific stuff, you're like, oh, I didn't think about that. That's getting me thinking about something. For example, like at the last seminar, Dennis, who was actually a guy that's been trading with us, everybody knows him if they're in the community. He's been with us for a while. He came to the Philly event. And then he came to this Clearwater event. Philly event was back in 2019. So like 2020, we took a break because of COVID. With him coming to this event now, even him, who you would think after just coming to one event, a lot of people would be like, oh, that's all you need. Not really, because he was in one place with his trading then, and then he comes to this event now, and now like look what he's doing with the D2 stuff. It's like he wouldn't be doing these new trades if he hadn't come to the event in Clearwater and had me motivate him and be like, bro, you're seeing something here. You need to go after this. And now look at what he's doing. He's crushing these trades. I think just that energy that I gave him, that motivation, that push that I gave him, how am I going to give him that via chat on the internet? It's just not the same.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking to me. Half the people know in our group, like half the shit that comes out of my fingers, it's either grammatically incorrect or it's coming off like way more aggressive than I mean it to be. That's just because it's the way I type. So I think being in person is just better. Like just so much better.
And I feel like there's something to say too, just about gathering a group of people that all have this commonality of trading, but yet every individual is so different.
Right.
Like they are the same in the sense that they have the qualities and necessary characteristics to be a trader.
Right.
But they're also so different.
Different
and when
places
you
in their
see
trading.
Some people are trying to figure out how to balance it with a 9 to 5. Some people are already all in.
Right.
Some people, they're kind of just learning it on the side. They're not even actively trading. They're just demo trading, trying to really just understand everything. So when you bring all these people together and you're like, okay, A, I'm not alone in this. B, there's so many other people out there that are just like me with this passion for trading that are in an area of their life that no one really knows anything about, but they can then bring something different to the table because of a routine that they have to implement to help them with their trading because of X, Y, and Z of how they live their life.
But even think about that person, like just the perspective that they'll bring and questions that they'll ask could get the guy sitting next to him who's from a different part of the country to get him to think about something. And he's like, maybe I need to implement that. So I just think there's so much value, especially during COVID, because like everybody's been stuck at home. And I know everybody thinks that Florida's crazy for staying open and everything, but like I'm very grateful because it's kept everybody sane. When we had the event in Clearwater, like you could feel some of the guys that had not been around other people, they were like a little weird about it at first. But once you like it's almost like a different person comes out when you like forget what we act like during COVID. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I think that part of it makes it even more enjoyable too, because you're now out with other people, like you said, like-minded people. You're talking about trading, you're pushing yourself forward. So yeah, I just think nothing in the online chat is comparable to what we do with the in-person. To back to your question, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I just a little tangent about COVID, because I feel like maybe some people watching this are like, well, how are you having live events with COVID and the rules, and how can you find places that allow you to have people? Like we said in the beginning, especially now, we do limit it to a smaller group of people. That way we can maintain social distancing. We have hand sanitizers, masks. We wipe everything down completely beforehand. And then once the traders are there and they're sitting down, depending on who they're sitting next to, like if they're comfortable with it and want to take their mask off, go for it. If you're not comfortable with it and you want to keep it on and the person next to you wants you to keep it on, that's okay as well. It's all about what feels best for you, but we do what we can to make sure that we're following everything and making sure it's all sanitary.
Down no matter what. Like shit's dirty. If not the venue that we rent the rooms from wipes it down, you know what I mean? So it's always going to be clean no matter what too. And
definitely. Just wanted to say that just because I know it's a weird time we're living in right now.
We went to Mexico and didn't get COVID. So if that makes you feel any better about like, oh, I'm scared to get on an airplane like some people are. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but don't live the rest of your life in fear. Definitely don't do that.
And the airplanes, honestly, like you have to wear your mask the entire time you're in the airport.
Right. So it's like
in the airplane, they give you hand sanitizer wipes. So if you're just a conscious human being and aware of what you're doing, not touching your eyes, not removing your mask, like.
But this is also part of why
we're
going to do events all over the country. Because I want to make sure that it's as easily accessible for people as possible. So Phoenix is going to be next. It's going to be in March, first weekend of March. It's a Friday. We're going to be doing them during the week, too. It's weekdays. After Phoenix, I want to do Texas. I don't know how quickly after I'm going to do it, but I'd like to do Texas.
And Miami.
And then Miami.
Yeah.
And then maybe one up in the Northeast. Maybe.
When it's warmer.
When it's warmer, right. So we're looking at like the summer or September or something like that. You know what
Boston?
I mean? Boston?
Boston? I don't know why I said
I've never
it like
been to
that.
Boston
Me either.
except for a bar mitzvah, and I was like 7 years old, so I don't really remember anything except that Smash Mouth, that All Star song was like the theme song.
Hey now,
That
you're
one.
an all-star.
Yep.
Get your game on.
I remember like they gave the CD out as the bar mitzvah gift. So that's what I know about Boston. But yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd be down to go up there.
So back to the events though.
Yeah.
When you're building these events, because obviously when people come to
the content.
Yes.
Yeah.
When people come to these events, they are now looking at you and expecting you to just blab out all of this content, all of these incredible insights and these wow, aha moments. Nuggets, golden nuggets.
Chicken nuggets.
How do you even start
First,
with knowing this is what I want to share with them? This is what I know they'll take value in. Like, where does this process start and how do you even begin to put it all together?
I was going to say first, I light some incense. I get some nice music playing in the background, get the vibe right. I'm just kidding. But I actually do that.
I was going to say, you're not kidding,
no,
though. You do.
That's for the live event. But to build the content beforehand, it's based on just my research like that I'm doing all the time every day with my back testing. That's it. I find something new within our system. I back test it. I get a bunch of markups on it, and I show that off in these events because I would never put that on YouTube because that's what people pay for to be in our community. So I have to keep it proprietary. But then these events are where people can come and see the newest information. You know what I'm saying? That's like why I want people to know about it because it is the place to go if you want to see and ask questions about what's going on right now. We talk a lot about taxes and growing the business too. So there's like a lot of back end stuff that we discuss that I don't talk about on YouTube because I'm not an accountant and I don't want to be held accountable to something that I'm actually incorrect on. So we have these conversations in person, prefacing it in person, saying, look, this is what we do, but you also want to talk to your professional. So it's just better conversations to have in person there too.
Absolutely. I feel like people feel more comfortable too when they're in person to ask their questions because then even just seeing the person's face, you can be able to tell if they really understand what you're saying or if there's still confusion and you need to kind of explain it further.
Mm-hmm. But then the other content, like I just like teaching, so I try to think of concepts like the same way I put the webinars together. I just try to come up with a concept that's like simple, mainly based on a problem that I think people are having. How do we solve that problem? How do we solve that problem in a simple way? And then just try to break that down and make it relatable. That's what I'm really focused on. I always feel like when I do this stuff, it has to be new because I don't want people to ever look at me and be like, oh, he's just another Forex guy that's teaching me support and resistance, or he's not teaching me enough, and there's always going to be people that say that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm grateful we haven't had that too often because I put so much effort into making these webinars new and this content new and the seminars new. So I think it's the research that goes into it. That's really where the content comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah, the research that goes into our systems. You know what I mean? Like the A1, the D1, and the D2.
Yeah, and you've had a lot of different types of events. Like now in person, we've had 2 in-person events.
Yeah.
We've had 1 online seminar. Yep. You've had
I hated that the most.
Really?
I hate the online seminar thing. Yeah.
You've had a range of webinars, free and paid.
Yep.
And every time people are getting value out of it. Do you ever feel like when you have these events or these webinars that people are really just not getting anything from it? Like, have you ever had anybody come up to you and been like, yo, bro, I attended this and I really I don't get what you're saying. I didn't get any value out of this.
Not a webinar or a seminar or no, I've had people say, so this is where it's tough because I've had people say like, I don't get this. It's not working for me. But I can go in and I can look at how many times they've watched the course or the webinar or whatever it is. And if I only see you watched it 5 times,
even.
But even 5 times is honestly not enough. If you're trying to consume something, like really consume it, it's just not enough. So like if you've only done so much work and then you're saying it's not working for you, I just kind of walk away. You know what I mean? I kind of just let that person go. It's not like I'm going to try to appease them because they're already not willing to do the work. So what am I trying to convince you of doing? Because it's going to require work. You're not willing to do it anyway. So it's better we just separate. You know what I mean?
So you find that it's more so the people that just don't really want to put in hard work.
That's always what it is. That and closed-mindedness. Like I'll say something and then they'll be like, that's not true. Well, how do you know it's not true? If I can show, like I wouldn't be saying it if I didn't feel that it was a verified fact. So if I'm saying it, I can probably back it up. But then some people will just say, no, that's not true. Based on what? Well, because it's not. well, that's not any fact. That's not any real substance. So
Yeah.
no, you know what I mean? But those people, again, I try not to worry about them, try not to convince them because you can't convince them, you know? So I focus on the people that are like, Austin, thank you so much. This webinar was dope. Even though they've been in the VIP already, they already have the courses and they're still coming to a free webinar because they're like, dude, this is a good couple of reminders in here. I got some notes. I'm ready for Monday. And that's the mindset of people that I work with best, you know, and that's who I'm able to help best.
I would say that's a huge commonality between the people that I've noticed that attend the live events.
Yeah.
They are all so open-minded, regardless of where they're at in their trading. I don't want to throw any names out there, but we literally have guys coming to this event to where it's like they are willing to do anything and everything to figure this out. Like they are so determined and willing to put in the hard work. And when they show up and you can see them, it looks like they're kind of like SpongeBob. Like they're just a sponge. They want to take in everything. And they do. They ask questions where they don't understand, or they're taking notes consistently. Or I've even seen people, well, usually we'll do a recording, but for the last one, technical issues, we weren't able to. People were still recording it on their phone just so they had the content. Like they are really
trying to immerse themselves
completely.
But then there's people that'll fall asleep and they're sitting in the front row.
That was only your brother.
Right. Well, but that's
and I'll say that out loud.
But that's because I think Logan is closed-minded in a lot of ways. You know, he has his system and like he don't want to work, like he don't want new information that might help him. So that's why I think he just didn't.
But we don't need to talk about your brother. That it's irrelevant.
Right.
Everyone else is like, it's almost like they don't blink. Like they are so in it.
Right. Yeah. I think that to me, like the impact that I feel that I can make when people are in it like that at the live events, that to me is the most important part of it, which is why I'm willing to do it with 5 people or 20 people, whatever I can do. You know what I mean? If we happen to have one and we need to get more space, I'm willing to figure out how to get more space, because if more people want to be there, that's what we're going to have to do. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, I'm not like, I was at first like, I got to sell 15 tickets or I'm a failure. But that's not the right way to look at it, bro. Because I'm not doing it for the money. We're not making really any money on this at all, because we're charging cheap for the tickets. You know, 'cause I just got to cover the room and the food for everybody. So like this is another part of planning it that we didn't really get into, is like I actually planned the whole event. You and me planned the full thing.
Yes.
We find the venue, we figure out lunch for everybody, we get it catered or whatever it is. We take care of the technology. We do all of this. Like this is just me
everything.
and Rylee. Yep, just us.
Just us.
To keep it minimal on cost, which makes it cheaper for you guys. That's really why we do it this way. If I hired a whole bunch of team, I'd have to charge more for the tickets, and it's harder to sell the tickets then. I want this to be about helping people. You know what I mean? I mean, our course package is more than coming to one of these events as of right now, what it's been priced at for the last 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The only one that we charged more for, and it was warranted, was the one that ended up getting canceled because of COVID. We were supposed to have one down here in Tampa. You remember, March 31st.
Yeah, but that was like a whole sleepover type weekend event.
We had the hotel booked up, dinner booked up. Like the whole thing was going to be, it was going to be dope. And that's why we charged more for that. But now with COVID, definitely not having people stay together right now, because that's not what people want to be doing. But with COVID and like stuff like that, this is the best way for us. We're renting a room for as cheap as possible, getting people together, and then just doing the information. Because really, if you look at the testimonials, and I'll link them in the description to this video from the Philly seminar, because we had a video guy and we got video testimonials. Look at what everybody said. Yeah. The venue is beautiful, the food, but really we could have done this anywhere. Yeah. We could have done this in the parking lot. That's what they told me.
Yeah.
And it's true, because people come for the content.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And that is one thing too that I really wanted to emphasize on, is the community aspect of going to these live events. Like, yes, you have the ASFX community, but it's now over like 1,000 people. So sometimes it can be hard to find your little circle of traders that you trust and feel comfortable with.
This is a great place
accountability
to meet them
within that group. So when you go to a live event, like I've seen it, these people stick together to help one another, because they all were there together. Because you started out, what's your weakness and what's your strength within trading. So then these people can see clearly, oh, this
me and him are the same. We struggle with the same stuff.
Or not even that, but this person's strength is my weakness.
We can partner up.
How can I learn from them better? And then they, like I said, they stick together, and then they have their own little circle within the bigger circle that we've opened up for them.
Because a lot of people want that. A lot of people want the community, but they feel like every Forex group they join, they get lost in. You know what I'm saying?
Completely. And that is what we don't want to happen at all. Like we want you to be able to find your smaller community, your group of accountability buddies, whatever it is you want to call yourself, just people that you feel connected with that can continuously push you forward in your trading journey.
Yeah. And I feel like the only other piece about it that I want to make sure we touch on is with the ideas that are discussed there and the community that is built there, where we're seeing the most impact on people's actual trading after the event is the people who, it kind of goes back to what I said before about putting in the work, but the people that continue to be active. Some people do come to events and then they kind of fade off. It's almost like it discourages them because then they realize they're overwhelmed. I want to remind everybody that it's not overwhelming. The community that you build, like you said, the knowledge that you're going to get at these events, like it shouldn't overwhelm you at all. And if it does, I'm here to help. That's why I make sure that when people book these tickets, they get a free session with me for an hour after the event to make sure that we go over any questions they have. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I wanted to make sure that it isn't overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because it can seem intimidating. I get that.
It's kind of like building a house. If you're just standing on the ground and you're thinking about building a house, you're like, whoa, shit, there's a lot I got to do here.
Right.
But start small.
Right.
Build your foundation first, and then the rest will follow and kind of naturally piece itself together. But you have to build that strong foundation. And I truly believe that that comes from having a good community, a support system within that community, and then continuously wanting to learn and broaden your education and expand your mind within those areas.
Do you think that people would want to do live events throughout the rest of this year? Like, do you think that I'm crazy for wanting to do live events during COVID?
No, I don't think you're crazy, because I think that this gets so controversial, but if we are,
I'm here for the controversy.
if we are allowed to have events in the spaces that we are with the amount of people that we want to bring in, why not do it?
Right.
We aren't doing anything wrong. We're not breaking any rules, you know? And if it does get to a point where numbers start to really increase again and things start shutting down, of course, we will reevaluate. And if we have one planned,
I heard some shit on the
we'll
news
cancel it. We'll make it back into a live on the computer, even though you don't like that, but we'll adjust as statistics.
But I'm pushing through, everybody.
Adjust.
I guess is my point, is I'm pushing through because I think what we do together in person is indescribable in words, in this video.
We're humans. We need human
interaction.
Yes.
Yeah. So, this is the last thing I want to mention. I'm pretty sure what we're going to do going forward is for people that are not a part of ASFX but want to come to one of these events, and they're like, I want to start my Forex stuff on the right foot, or I've been struggling and I just want to forget all that shit I was doing and I want to learn the good stuff now. If you don't have our courses, I'm pretty sure we're doing it for every event after this Phoenix one, but especially for this Phoenix one, because I've had some people reach out that aren't members, you will get access to the courses. I'm going to bundle the whole thing together. So you get the live event ticket, the session with me after, and you get the beginner and advanced course. And you get access to the Facebook and the Discord. So you get the full package for coming to the event. It's the perfect way to just jump in, you know, but jump in with the right foot.
Yeah, because we don't ever want to like have anybody feel like they're stranded on an island. Like that is not the goal.
Honestly, not even
of
that
what we're
too.
trying to do.
It's that, and it's also like if you're going to come to the event and you're going to take this really seriously, I need you to be caught up at that point. Like I can't be doing all this basic stuff in the morning.
It's like we'll give you the toolbox to start building your house.
Right, and then be ready by March 5th or whatever the date of the event is that's coming up. Be ready by that date to have consumed the courses, have an idea of the A1, the D1, and the D2. Because we're going to go into it. Come with a lot of questions, for sure. We always air it out. That's what I call it in the beginning. We air it out.
Yeah.
But I think if you have an understanding of the systems when you show up, you're going to grasp everything I'm talking about so much more. Because like even this video, I'm not that good. I haven't really done a great job of selling this event. I'm just talking about it because selling isn't my thing when it comes to trading. It's like information. I'm very direct and very much like this is
statistic.
So like if you show up to this event and you don't have a grasp of the systems, you're going to look at the stuff I have and it's going to be like, damn, that's a little deeper than I'm at right now. I don't want that. But
even so, like that, like to a point, it is okay because
of course.
Don't think that
I still break it down simple.
Right.
Yeah.
Like come with your questions.
Yes.
Ask the questions.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like to not watch any videos of mine and then show up, you're just going to be lost.
Right.
Yeah, like there's
at least watch it one time through.
I can't teach you the A1 that morning when I've got 15 other people there that paid money to be there and they don't want to go over that. They want to go into the new stuff.
I wonder if that would be beneficial though. Let us know in the comments below if you're somebody that maybe doesn't have any of the ASFX courses and you would want an event, but maybe this would be better for an online event or something where you are kind of going over teaching them like the beginner course.
We could do that.
You know,
if people need it. I need to know what you guys need. You just got to comment and let me know. I listen for feedback, and that's how I come up with a lot of our new ideas. You know what I mean?
Right. Like because you genuinely want to serve the people and what it is that they
this morning,
need and
I will
want.
tell you, this morning was one of the mornings where I'm like, why am I sharing all of my ideas? Why am I having to do this? Like, why can't I just keep trading? Well, I can. But then I remember the value that I do bring to people and how I am helping people make more money. And I'm like, no, that's part of my job. Like, and I feel obligated almost to the community. I got 70,000 followers on Instagram. Like,
But you're also passionate about helping people at your core.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I am. But some days it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm never going to lie and say that it's
well, yeah,
easy.
because you do it every day.
Every
even
day.
on the weekends. If people are questioning or whatever, like
it
you're
would
there
be
to
way
answer.
easier to just trade and never answer these DMs. I wake up some mornings, like you should see my Discord. It's like 30 messages. And I'm like, I have that there, and it's hard to not answer that and focus on me sometimes, I guess is my point.
Yeah.
But that's what we're doing.
My camera's going to go out in a minute, just so you know.
I figured. Well, let's wrap it up. This has been good.
Okay.
Comment below, guys. Let me know if you're coming to Phoenix. Let me know if you want to come to another event. Comment below which city we should come to. We can only do the U.S. right now, but once we can go to Europe, UK is first, and then Dubai, and then we'll go to Australia for sure. But I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the interest in the event. I appreciate you giving us the time for this video. I just appreciate you guys a lot.
Absolutely. And we also didn't touch on it at all, but we do go into a lot of psychology and mindset stuff at the events as well.
Yeah.
Now that
it's
that's
everything.
like 30 minutes in. Oh, yeah, we also do a lot of that.
It's a lot of everything, and we don't sell it, and we don't do it justice enough, but hopefully you guys know us, and you know that what we bring in that event, you can feel confident just from our voice that it's going to be valuable to you. So reach out if you have any questions about the next live event. Reach out if you have any questions about the ASFX systems. I'm always here to help you guys, even on days like today when I'm a little annoyed. But we make it happen. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.
See ya.